श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ऋकारस्त्वन्धकारो वै ऋकारस्त्वन्धकारो वै ऋकारस्तन्निवर्तकः ऋकारस्तन्निवर्तकः अन्धकारनिरोधित्वात् अन्धकारनिरोधित्वात् गुरुरित्यभिधीयते गुरुरित्यभिधीयते। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। What to talk today? Any request? Yes? After listening to Shruti, yeah, that was Purva Paksha, yes. That there is such a thing called Aparoksha Anubhuti. Aparoksha we saw in the last talk. Naparoksha, Aparoksha. Things are either Pratyaksha, directly perceived, or they are Paroksha, not directly perceived, indirectly known, and then the Atma is neither directly perceived because it is not an object, nor is it indirectly known, being self-evident I. So therefore we have a new word, Aparoksha, which is always Anubhuti Swarupa. That is what we have to understand. Maybe that is what we can talk about. Using perhaps the mantra, the opening mantra of the Taittiriya Upanishad. You can repeat after me. Om Brahma Vida Apnoti Param. Om Brahma Vida Apnoti Param. Tadesha Bhyukta. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam. Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam. Parame Vyoman. Parame Vyoman. Soshnute Sarvan Kamaan Saha Brahmana Vipashchiteti. To put to rest once and for all the question of experiencing, and I'm deliberately dragging the word experiencing because we want it to last a long time. And so that is indicated by changing the pronunciation itself and adding a few more E's in experiencing. So to put this topic to rest, hopefully once and for all, what is the topic? How to Gaining knowledge, what I know what to do. How to gain knowledge? I have to come and sit here every 2 hours. That much is very clear. But how to experience it? This is basically, there is some kind of a akanksha. There is some kind of an expectancy that there must be. It cannot be so easy. It cannot be so wonderfully easy that I just have to open my ears. It's not just the ears, okay? It's the heart. And so I have to open the ears, the heart, and then the knowledge will take place. And it cannot be so easy. Why? Because my own experience is contradicting it. Because one can say, I have been studying Vedanta for this many years. First it's this many hours, and then this many months, this many weeks, this many months, this many years. And still there is this feeling of discontent. Still the feeling of incompleteness pervades. And so for this reason, this has to be, what is it that we are talking about? And what is this Jnana Phalam has to be properly understood. So therefore we have in the Taittiriya Upanishad is like a big bang. It opens with a big bang. There is no introduction, there is no build up, there is no akhyayika, there is no baby Nachiketa going to Lord Yama, there is, as in the Kathopanishad, there is no, what is that, Shaunaka going to Angiras. And there is no parampara, nothing is there. Straight away we have. And in fact we forget that it's even a dialogue until quite in the middle of it somebody asks a question. Aho vidvan amul lokam pretya kashtana gacchati. And that gacchati is elongated, plutaswara is given, it's elongated to 3 matras to show that it's a question, prashnarthe. And so therefore we even forget that it's a dialogue. It just seems like the teacher is not sparing any time to just give this knowledge. So it starts with a wonderful, attractive statement. Brahmavit, the knower of Brahman. Apnoti, gains. What? Param? Param means what? Nothing more to be gained after gaining this. The ultimate. After gaining this Brahman, nothing else is left, nothing other than it, nothing beyond it, nothing more than it. Nothing is there, nothing like it, nothing unlike it. All that is there is Brahman alone. And this gaining this Brahman, Brahmavid apnoti param. So then this Brahman alone, the knower of Brahman. Not the one, the possessor of Brahman. See, the Shastra could have said, the one who is the holder of Brahman gains the ultimate. No. And the Shastra could have also said, the Brahman experiencer gains the ultimate. But does it say that? No. It's not the experiencer, it's not the possessor, but who is the one who gains the ultimate? Knower. Brahmavit, Brahmavetti iti Brahmavit, with to know. So the knower of Brahman gains the ultimate. Then of course with this kind of a very attractive statement, we have to ask the pertinent question. What is the pertinent question? Huh? Hello, show at least one sign of life. Yeah. What is this Brahman? Yes, Kim Tad Brahman. We have to ask. What is this Brahman? What is this Brahman here we are talking about? And so, Kim Tad Brahma, and that Brahman is defined with the help of 3 words. What are they? Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. And to assimilate this, there are pages and pages and pages of Bhashya. But we'll just put it very, very briefly. Why it is given like this and why not in any other way? This is just to preclude further questions about, okay, now that I have the knowledge, how do I become Brahman? Very unbecoming question. How do I become Brahman? How do I experience Brahman? At least one experience I should have of Brahman. All these questions are put to rest, hopefully, with a peculiar and a particular way of looking at these three words. And so Satyam, Jnanam and Anantam. We'll see what they are. But before that, before we even see what they are, Adi Shankara makes it clear in the Bhashya that they are not adjectival. Adjective means what? That there should be Visheshana. Visheshana means it is a description of qualities. It is a description of qualities of a particular thing in order to not confuse it with anything else in that particular class of things. To distinguish something from other things, people, etc., entities in that particular class. Tree is a jati, and in that we can say flowering tree as opposed to not flowering tree. Then what else can we say? We can say tall tree, redwood tree, tall tree. That is again a description. Swajatiyebhyah vishayebhyah vyavartakam visheshanam. That which, I just said that in English, so no need to translate. So that which distinguishes things from other things, anyebhyah vishayebhyah vyavartakam. That which distinguish things from other things in its own class. So then we are very, very tempted to think of Brahman having three attributes. It would be so easy to think of Brahman having three attributes. And then they translate in English, Satyam, existence, capital E. Okay. And then after that what? Jnanam, knowledge. Yeah, what that knowledge is, we still are waiting to have that knowledge. And then Anantam, what is the translation? Bliss with a capital B. What did you understand? Existence, knowledge, bliss. Which is at once supreme. Yes. Supreme is only used for gasoline. Unleaded, supreme, like that. There are certain varieties of purity. Not for Brahman. So this is a very, it's very easy to look at it as attributes. But again, that which has attributes is by nature finite. Finite means it comes to an end. Why? Zarayanti. The attributes get old. The attributes fall apart. Attributes are put together. They fall apart. Anything that is put together falls apart. So therefore, we are talking of that which is not stuck with certain attributes. And so, even though it is tempting to look at the words Satyam, Jnanam and Anantam, we'll see what they are, as blue, big, fragrant lily. So easy. Blue, big, fragrant lily. Wonderful. Bring me a lily. What kind of lily? Big lily. Oh, but there are many big lilies. Blue lily. There are many big and blue lilies. Oh, please get me the fragrant variety. That is the clincher. Then you get that one. So this cannot work for Brahman. Adi Shankara says this right from the beginning, that these are not attributes. They are not Visheshanas. What are they? Lakshana. Lakshana means indicatory words that point to something that is free of those very things which are used to point to that thing, ultimately. So those are just pointers. But how will I know with just pointers? Because it happens to be myself. And that, what kind of a self is it? A self that is self-evident. Self-evident self means A self that is Nitya Upalabdhi Swarupa, Nitya Anubhuti Swarupa, a self that is being experienced at all times. That is the self that we are trying to know, not a self that is totally unknown. If it is a totally unknown thing, then it doesn't. We can have any number of words. If it is unknown, it's not going to be understood. We can have any number of words. And also, on a known object, we cannot have a mistake. You see the rope, it's bright daylight, it's noon. You see the rope. Can you have a aropa over the rope? No. No aropa over rope. That's why the word aropa is there. The sages knew there would be a word rope afterwards. Yeah. So there is no aropa. Why? Because yathatmya jnanam takes place. This is exactly how it is. I see it. And let's say it's pitch dark. Then can you see the snake over the rope? No. There was a little doubt. I wonder why. Okay, but nonetheless, that has been resolved, so we won't belabor that. So, on a known rope, no mistake is possible. On an unknown, on a totally unknown rope, also no mistake is possible. Correct? So, when does the mistake happen? On a partially known rope. That's why in the rope snake story, it is always permanently twilight. Yeah. So permanently twilight, because only in twilight you see something that is Tribhangi. Tribhangi is not Lord Krishna here. Okay. What is Tribhangi? That which has three bends. You see something that has three bends and then you immediately go eek. Snake. First eek. Okay. Yeah. And then snake. So the mistake happens because it is half known, partially known. I see something, but I do not know its swarupa. And therefore, since the head is filled with all kinds of raga dvesha, dvesha for what? Snake. Fear. Dvesha includes fear. Fear of snake makes me that. So where did the snake come from? Here. The snake came from here, and then when I took the torch and looked at it, then where did the snake go? It was absorbed back from where it came, back inside the head. So this is a frightening example. The frightening example is given. Why? Because one is already frightened. One is already frightened because, and the reason why there is bhaya is because the self is not known as it should be known. Self is not known as it exactly should be known. This is the reason for bhaya. And so the Upanishad takes it upon itself to have as its tatparya, its primary purpose, bhaya nivritti, this particular Upanishad. Certain other Upanishads like 6th chapter of Chandogya, etc., 7th chapter of Chandogya, the shoka nivritti, atmavit shokam rati. Shoka means some shock or the other, okay, which translates to sorrow. So either the removal of sorrow or the removal of fear broadly, and then fear includes anxiety and everything, sorrow includes depression, apathy, everything. So the whole gamut of fearful and distasteful emotions are covered by these two trajectories: elimination of fear and elimination of sorrow, according to the Upanishads. In the Taittiriya Upanishad, bhaya nivritti, the focus is on the elimination of fear. And so just like the rope becomes an object of fear because it is not properly understood, similarly the self becomes an object of fear, sorrow, etc. because it is improperly understood. And whereas for the rope snake story we need twilight, in the head there is permanently twilight which is atma ajnanam until one comes to the knowledge. So you can't say I don't exist. Can anybody say that? If anybody is thinking that, please see me after the talk. Okay? Yeah. And so we'll have to spend some time together. That's all I'll have to say. So we can't say, nobody can say, I do not exist. Can you say that? No. Cannot say I don't exist. Why? Because I am available to myself. I am evident to myself. I know I am here. But please don't ask the next question. What is the next question? Who are you? Then if you ask me who are you, then I will have to ask you another question. How much time you got to listen to my autobiography? What is my autobiography? Autobiography of a bhogi, not yogi. Yeah. Autobiography of a sad bhogi. Yeah, chapter 1, why me? Chapter 2, everything is against me, including my horoscope. Everything is against me. Shani is in the wrong place. Shukra is in the wrong place. Guru, of course, is in the wrong place. So like this, that is chapter 2. And then chapter 3, how to accomplish. So keep on accomplishing. How to do. Chapter 3, Kartritvam. Chapter 4, Bhoktritvam. Chapter 5, conclusion. No. To be continued in the next life. Life after life after life, ... This is what one's own autobiography is this. Yeah. The autobiography of a jaded, faded jiva. This is what it is. This is how it reads. This is where it is laced with sorrow, it is laced with fear, discontent, pain, and a sense of feeling alienated and lost from oneself, from others, from Ishvara, from the Jagat, from everything. This is what is my story, and this story should not be a problem if I can accept it. Do you accept this autobiography? No. Nobody likes this autobiography. In fact, I want to tear up this autobiography. I'm sick of this autobiography. And I'm so tired of trying to get this autobiography away from my life. And that's why the Shruti's rendition of my story, who I am, sounds universally wonderful. That is why Vedanta is not just for people in India or people of the Vaidika Dharma, etc., etc. Vedanta has universal appeal because everyone writes a terrible autobiography, a snake-like autobiography, and then one is frightened of one's own autobiography that one has written, and one doesn't want to have anything to do with it, and one is searching for the real story of oneself. And therefore the Upanishad is like a mirror, not the kind of mirror in amusement parks. In amusement parks they have mirror that distorts the reflection. In one mirror you go and stand, you look like a barrel, so big. In another mirror you look like a needle, again very big head and a small body, like that. Very funny mirrors are there. The idea is you just have a little laugh because you don't know that this is what you look like. You know very well this is not what I look like. You have a laugh. But the Shruti is like the mirror that does not distort the image of the I. What kind of an I? The I that is partially understood as existent and then mistaken to be finite, subject to sorrow, subject to alienation, subject to limitations, subject to all kinds of wrong understandings of oneself, the Jagat, and Bhagavan, Ishvara. Therefore, the correction is needed. And the correction is done very, very ingeniously through the selective deployment of these three words. What are they? Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. Understanding this will remove sorrow, will remove fear. This is a promise. And that for that promise to come true, I have to first have what is called Shraddha. I have to be able to see that this is a promise and this will come true. I have to have that kind of a trust pending the understanding that is going to take place. I have to have that trust. So now the word Satyam means existence. Existence, we don't know even the meaning of existence. In my view, existence means what? That which hangs around in time for a long, long time. Because any existence that I have as a human being will be qualified by time, because everything is conditioned by time. So some existence, eternally existent, we don't have any idea. We don't even know the word eternal. We have no concept of that. Existence means something that hangs around in time for a long, long time, like an in-law, okay, who is visiting permanently, like that. So this is exactly the Rudhi Artha, means the common understanding of what? The word existence. And we have heard in the previous lectures the concept of bhavartha or bhava vyutpatti. Bhave vyutpatti means a derivation from the standpoint of something abstract. So to exist is made into existence, and then from the standpoint of this bhava prayoga, this abstract deployment, then we have the understanding. So existence means what? Is. So everything is. Flower is, pot is, thought is, cat is, mat is, rat is, hat is. And this is converted into what? Isness. Oh, is isness a word? Now it is. Okay? Yeah. Now it is. Isness means the abstract now, the ness of the is. That is what is the meaning of the word Satyam. Simply isness. But what is this isness? The isness is that which is behind everything that exists. Behind means don't look behind, okay? It's just a manner of expression. Isness. Flower is. And then what else? Pot is. Door is. Window is. So there are a few things we have to understand about this word is. One is that we think that the word is qualifies flower. Flower is. And then door is. Pot is. Window is. But actually it is the flower that qualifies isness. We have to do Shirshasana, okay? You have to do a headstand here. It is the flower that qualifies isness. How does the flower qualify isness? Isness in the form of flower. Form comes, form goes. What is isness. Isness is. Flower comes, flower goes. Oh, but then how can you say it is? Because the is never goes. Flower is. First you take a rose bud. Bud is. And then opening flower, blooming flower is. Bloomed flower is. Up till now it's nice. After that what? Like that it becomes. Wilted flower is. And then all the petals come down. Withered flower is. And then you take all the petals and then put it in the soil, and then what happens? Compost. Compost is. And then you grow another flower bush there, another flower bush is. Is doesn't go anywhere at all. Is. That is what is called isness. No. See, these Vedantins are very, very tricky. They just use the word however they want, and then they say is never ends because you're just talking very selectively. What if you were to say flower is not? Okay, say flower is not. What word are you using there? Is. Try to convey to me the absence of the flower without using the word is. Absence of the flower is. Even when you say flower is not, that is has to be there. The is that never becomes is not is called Satyam. See, Vedanta is so easy, very easy. Satyam is Atma, the is that never becomes, never ever becomes is not. This is what is called Bhava Prayoga. Bhave, Bhava Sadhana also it is called technical term. So then we have to understand then what kind of an is are we talking about? Is it a dead is or is it a sentient is? Huh? Sentient is. Why? Why do you say that? Because I am sentient. Simple. It all comes back to me. Because if it is a dead is, then neither will I be here to communicate, nor will you be here to listen. It cannot be a dead is. What kind of an is it is? It's a conscious is. It's a sentient is. And that existence which is sentient is called, what is the next word? Jnanam. Jnanam. Chit. Or Jnanam. Chit from the standpoint of another standpoint. Sat Chit Ananda from the standpoint of oneself. Satyam Jnanam Anantam from the standpoint of Brahman total. Jnanam. Again we have seen in great detail the word Jnanam. Jna plus Anam. This Anam is a suffix, lut, that has many meanings. 3 specific meanings. Earlier we saw 4, but here we'll take 3. What are they? Jnata. Knowledge means knower. That also is Jnanam. Then Jnayam, that which is to be known. Subject is also called Jnanam. Object is also called Jnanam. And then what else? The means of knowing for the subject, the means of knowing deployed by the subject to know the object. In other words, that which connects the subject to the object is also what? Jnanam. Which one are we going to take? We don't have to belabor this point because all 3 are finite. Because if I say I am Brahman, which is free of all limitations, I am that, then what happens? Then I cannot be Jnata. Because if I am the knower, I exclude the entire world of objects. I exclude the entire world of all that is known, to be known. So then, okay, I am known. If I am known, then who is the knower? Okay, I am the means of knowledge. I cannot be the means of knowledge because that excludes the other 2. I cannot be the Karana. If I am the Karana, if I am the spoon, then who is eating? Somebody has to hold the spoon and put it in the mouth. So therefore, none of these 3 vyutpatis or derivations of the word Jnanam can describe the second word here, Satyam Jnanam. So knowledge, again, it seems very, very hazy and unclear. But this is the only thing that has to be fully understood. Because it is me. It is me. That is why the word Satyam Jnanam Anantam becomes a Mahavakya. Because the word Jnanam is there, That is how the jiva is brought in there. Because I am a conscious being, I am aware of everything, everything becomes evident to me, and I am what? Self-evident. I am self-evident, everything becomes evident to me. And so therefore, this self-evident I alone is here inserted in between the two words Satyam and Anantam. This is what it is. That is why it's a Mahavakya, because the I has walked in. What kind of an I? The I that was riddled with all kinds of finitude, limitations, fears, tears. This person who was sad is here included. As talking about, again that same bhave prayoga comes in, because the word Anantam, which we are going to see, which means without limitations, becomes a kind of a niyamaka. The two other words become niyamaka for the word Jnanam. Niyamaka means they condition it, as it were, in a certain way. They remove. So what kind of an existence it is? If we see it from the standpoint of an existence, then we say it is a conscious, sentient existence. What kind of an sentience is it? It is a unfettered, limitless sentience. It's a limitless sentience. That is why the word limitless comes here. It's a limitless sentience. And why is it a limitless sentience? Because it is free of desha, kala, vastu, all kinds of finite limiting factors. So each one has a certain role to play. They don't qualify, they don't parasparam na sambadhyante, they don't qualify one another, but they act in tandem to be able to knock off the limitations of each word, knocks off the limitations of the other. That is what it is. So Jnanam, sentient existence. Sentient means what? Not jnata, not jneyam, not jnanam. That means what? There is nothing. Jnanam is gone, jnata is gone, jneyam is gone. So then we should convert to Buddhism. Why? Shunya. Maybe there is nothing here. We are talking of a big zero. For that, Adi Shankara gives a very beautiful analogy. How is it a big zero? Because it's like the son of the person who could not have children. Son Vandhya Putra, the son of the person who has never given birth. The one who has never given birth, that lady's son, Mriga Trishnam Bhasi Snataha. Look, he has come out so clean. He's just taken a bath. Where he took bath? He attended Ganga Sankalpa in the morning and went to the Ganga bath. No. He had bath in a different kind of water. What kind of water? Mirage water in the desert. Imaginary water. And then he is all adorned with a beautiful flower in his hair, which dropped right out of the sky. Khapushpa krita shekhara. And then what? Here he comes. Esho yati Vandhya putra. Here he goes. Look at him. Clap, clap, clap. How nice. That's not all. He's carrying a bow made of the finest polished horns of many rabbits. Because rabbits are small, with one rabbit's horn you can't make a bow. You need many rabbits. And then after collecting many rabbits' horns, then you can make a beautiful bow. Shashashringa dhanurdharaha. So maybe Atma is like this because it's neither Jnanam, nor Jnata, nor Jneyam. What is left? Zero. Nothing. That's why, Adi Shankara dismisses that. He said it is not that you are not there. You are a conscious, sentient being. This is Atma. And so when you negate Jnata, you negate it as, in Vedanta it's all a one-way negation. Jnata is Atma because everything is Atma. Jnata is also Atma. Atma is not knower. This is all a one-way negation. Atma is not knower. Knower is non-separate from Atma. Atma is not knower. Knower is sustained by Atma. Atma does not become a knower. Then Atma does not become hearer, seer, any of these things. Then what about known? That the world of that which is called known, the world of objects, can we say it is away from Atma? No, it is Atma. Objects are Atma. Atma is not an object. Objects are non-separate from Atma. Atma is not an object. And then same thing, means of knowing. All the means of knowing, can they be outside of Atma? No. They cannot be outside of Atma because nothing is outside of Atma. That is what it means. Ekam advitiyam. This is what it means. Nothing is outside of it, but it is not any one thing. Neither jnata nor jnanam nor jnayam does not mean it is non-existent. It is not non-existent. It is very much existent as I. So when I look at a flower, flower consciousness is. Flower consciousness is now. Now I am conscious of flower. Now I am conscious of pot. Now I am conscious of elephant. Similarly, we have the objects of consciousness keep varying. Throughout the course of the day, the objects of consciousness, they are not sthira. Thank God. Otherwise, we saw, Acharya Swamiji explained. So, first thing in the morning, alas, Hanta, you saw what? Donkey. And then after that, you saw flower. Then the donkey is wearing flowers. Then you saw that because the donkey hasn't gone. Then you saw the sunrise. Now on top of the flower which is sitting on the donkey's neck, then you have sunrise. Then you saw the mountain. Then the mountain is also the donkey. Donkey never goes. So that problem is not there because it is a fluid, limitless consciousness. This is all experienced. This is not outside my experience. This is how I am experiencing. When I experience an object, then what am I doing? There are many things I am experiencing. I am experiencing myself as the experiencer of the object. I am of course experiencing the object. I am of course experiencing the means of knowing the object. Sight, sound, etc., whichever pramana I am using. And so nothing is outside of Atma. Jnata, Jnanam, Jnayam is all Atma, but Atma is not any one of them. That is what is the meaning of the word Anantam. It accommodates everything, but it is free of everything. And just as the clay pot example becomes relevant here. The whole, in order to understand clay, in order to understand pot, you don't have to do a PhD on every pot that is there. Pot number 1, what is its size, what is its shape, what makes it tick, etc. You don't have to do that. Pot number 2, pot number 3, you don't need 10,000 PhDs. What do you need to study? What is clay? If you study clay, then all, not just pots, but all other things that can be made of clay, sharava, jug, lid, and Krishna figurines, whatever is made of clay is included in that. Vacharambhano vikaro namadheyam vrittika ityeva satyam. So one clay, understanding one clay, you come to know the whole world of earthenware. You don't have to worry about that. Similarly, understanding this one Atma, which is Brahman. Brahman is Brihatvat. Brihi Vriddhau. Brihi means big. How big it is not said. On purpose, the Shastra doesn't say how big. Doesn't say that. And this is kind of intriguing because big means I have to understand where to look. If you tell me, look at this big mustard seed, then I have to look somewhere down. Whereas if you tell me, look at this big mountain, I have to look, the size is in the head. But here, on purpose, it is not given. The size is specifically left out. The size is left out so that one can understand this Anantam, Brahmano, Anantam is understood. Anantam means it is limitlessly big. There is no time, no space, no object, because it is that which is the truth of all objects, in all spaces, at all times, without becoming any one thing. Cannot become any one thing. And so when we say Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, these three words, not like big blue lily. What are they? Lakshana. Lakshana means Sarvebhyah Vishayebhyah Vyavartakam Lakshana. That which distinguishes it from everything else. It is a specific definition only for that thing. Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam are defining words only for Atma. And to illustrate this, the Adi Shankara gives the example of Akasha. What is the definition of Akasha? That which accommodates is space. Avakasha Pradata. Avakasha Pradatru Akasha. So that which accommodates. There is nothing that accommodates like space. So space is that which accommodates. You cannot say it is a qualification. Because how many spaces are there? 2. One outside, one in the head. Yeah. So only one space. And there is only one space. So you cannot have, we cannot have descriptions just like adjectival to space. So what do we need? A definition that fits only space. Avakasha Pradatra Akasha. And that these things also stomach space. It defines stomach space also. No matter how full one is, oh, there is some sweet here. Okay, I think I have space for that. Elastic space. And so this way, what to understand from the very brief discussion we've had about these three words is to look at it not as words somewhere outside of me, but as something, as a description of myself alone. Because if we take it internally, when I look at myself as thinker, seer, hearer, experiencer, there is always a tripod. What is the tripod? Triputi. So there is a threefold division. What is the first thing? Subject, experiencer. What is the second thing? Object of experience. Like even ice cream yesterday, object of experience. And then that which connects the subject to the object. In the case of ice cream, it was the tongue, jihva, and then so that is called the jnanam, or that which is the mana, pramana. So the same thing, this triputi is there in every single experience. These three things are there. Jnata, jnanam, jneyam. Pramata, pramanam, prameya. Everything. Experiencer, experienced, and then means of experience. In everything we find this threefold division, and that is why the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says that all the beings in the world, they believe in these differences. They look at these differences as watertight, air-clad differences, and therefore the Ananda, which is attributed, which is the Swarupa of Brahman, which is the Swarupa of oneself, one can only take it matram eva lokaha upajivanti. Brihadaranyaka-vatra. Esha eva ananda. This Ananda alone, this Ananta is converted into Ananda from the standpoint of the human quest. Because Ananta nobody wants. If you say any takers for never ending, limitless, they will say, no, my life is already never ending. Please don't give me any more never ending things. I don't want more of the same. Who wants Ananda? Me. That's why it is converted. It's the same thing really. Because nobody wants Ananda. We want that Ananda to continue forever. Everybody wants the forever, not the Ananda or the object of Ananda. And so therefore it is converted into Ananda. Esha eva Ananda. This is the Ananda. Yajnavalkya tells King Janaka in this particular portion. Sarvani bhutani, all the beings, matraveva upajivanti. They experience it lesha leshataha, in little bits and pieces, scraps of Ananda, sitting like a doggy, pet doggy at the table, begging with the tongue out, gimme, gimme, gimme. And the owner gives something. Or owner here means prarabdha. Prarabdha, because of this prarabdha, little bit of Ananda comes, and then I have identified with who? The enjoyer. Identified as the enjoyer, there is a finitude because I am excluded from the object of Ananda and the means of Ananda. And then this is what once I saw a 6-year-old girl crying into her ice cream. Crying like anything. I said, what happened? Who scolded you? This was in Sailorsburg ashram. I said, what happened? Who scolded you? Why are you crying? She is already half over and only half is left. I said, if you are crying into it, it will melt faster. Just enjoy it. This is the problem. The swabhavika, the kind of a seems to be a kind of a focused or a habitual identification with the experiencer. Experiencer means karta. Bhogaya karma. Everything, all the karmas I do for the sake of bhoga only. And so the identification with the experiencer leads to sorrow, leads to hurt, leads to guilt, leads to fear of that object of enjoyment going away. And this is the problem. So I identify with the experiencer. And if I identify with the experienced, then again there is a problem. I can't identify with the ice cream. That means I'll be eaten up by everybody else. That's why the person of knowledge in the Taittiriya Upanishad sings. The Samavedi sings. Ahamannam, ahamannam, ahamannam. I'm the food. Ayyo, people will eat you. Ahamannado, ahamannado, ahamannadaha. I'm not just the food. I am also the eater of the food. Eater of the food is non-separate from I, and the food which is the object of consumption is non-separate from I, and the means of eating is also I. And what is this I? Neither eater nor eaten nor the means of eating. That which includes everything. But in order for it to include everything, it has to be nothing. Don't say nothing. Nothing in particular. Because the I is nothing in particular, it can uphold everything. It can bless everything. Satta spurtik pradanena. By lending its existence, isness is lent. And then spurti is another word for jnanam. Sentience, awareness is lent. Borrowed sentience and borrowed existence. All the names and forms are living on borrowed ananda, borrowed this thing, because we are only talking of that which blesses all nama rupas, without becoming any one of them. That is how we have to understand Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. And if we understand that, what is the Jnana Phala? Saha Ashnute. Ashnute means eats. Not that Brahmavid is a foodie. No. So eats here because it experiences, gains. Sarvan Kaman Saha. Brahmana Saha. Not along with Brahman. Sitting along with Brahman, I am eating something. No. Itham Bhute Tritiya. In the form of Brahman, being Brahman, I enjoy everything. All the desires are fulfilled in one stroke. Usually, how are the desires experienced? Kramena, one after the other. First ice cream, and then you felt chilly. You wanted a cup of tea. Then you went and got a cup of tea. And what is a cup of tea without samosa? Then after that samosa, one by one. Not yugapat, at once. At once, nobody is able to do this. Even if you were to mix up samosa and ice cream and eat, it's not going to cut it. It's going to taste horrid. So what is mentioned here is that where the fulfillment is not based on the object, but based on the content of I, the subject. So therefore, the fulfillment is there because that which is the source of fulfillment, I have come to understand as the truth of myself. That is why it is called Brahman, without any limits. And when I understand that I am this Brahman, I am experiencing everything. I am the experiencer, I am non-separate from experienced. I am non-separate from the means of knowledge, but none of them are me. This is what I have to see. Otherwise, what happens is that one becomes, instead of sitting at the table where one belongs, one becomes a beggar, begging for scraps of experiences. So the study of the Taittiriya Upanishad makes one strong and makes one understand what is this Sarvatma Bhava. Everything is non-separate from myself alone. The experiencer is a superimposition, as it were, on the Atma, free of being experiencer. That which is the object of experience is also an as though superimposition upon the Atma, which is free from being the object of experience, and the means of experience is also the superimposition as though upon that which is free of all superimpositions. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.